Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your support. I greatly appreciate it. This is the daily forecast. It is for all signs every day. It's mainly for when you see it rather than when it was originally created for. I mean, there's flexibility. These are timeless readings, right? So you can apply them whenever they fit. You're seeing them on a date that is other than the date that they were created for. Those of you that watch with me regularly, we understand that this is sort of the story that's being carried throughout the week. So I will reference the weekly that was taking place on Sunday, the Sunday previous, and you can see that video in the lower left-hand corner of the video at the end of it, okay? Please check out the drop-down menu on any of my daily videos. It gives you insight, especially if you're new to me, as to how to get in contact with me, what decks I use, things I want you to think about while using the channel, all of that sort of stuff, okay? Beyond that, if you enjoy the video, please share it with others. Share it on your social medias. Share it in groups on Facebook. Tell people about it. Please try and let people know that I exist here on YouTube. I'm not exactly sure what I'm supposed to be doing to do that, but I've been trying and it's not really working. So, anyways, let's see what else. So this is created for Saturday the 6th, and we're going to see what the cards have to tell us. If this doesn't fit in your life, that's okay. Doesn't mean that it's anything's wrong or broken. It's just not your reading today, right? So it might be just you're working on something different at this time. So lots of flexibility with these cards. Let's see what our card is for the day. Interesting. Another major arcana. We have the moon. All right, so this is Cancerian energy. It's weird. Oh my God, these cards are kind of freaking me out. Yesterday we had judgment and there was this ladder, right? And in the card, so for those of you that pay attention to, I'm getting a chill down my back. It feels like spirit a little bit. Okay. The moon is represented, right? It's major arcana. The readings this week, if you go back to Sunday's reading, it was very much an introspective, internal reading that I felt like was preparing us for something that's to come. You have to go back and watch that video to understand what I'm talking about. But what has happened over the last few days is we have seen major arcana come out Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and now Saturday at the end of the week, which makes me feel like the message here is that whatever is going on with us internally is highly impactful, hugely important, and may affect whatever's going on with us moving forward into either the rest of November, throughout the end of this year, and maybe even affect the beginnings of 2023. Are we in 2020 or 2022? Jesus, I don't even know what year it is. Anyways, now on to what I'm getting from this imagery. Yesterday's imagery of judgment, there was this sort of white cloaked figure sitting in front of this ladder, right? And judgment is about answering the call. And I felt like judgment was being urged by these darker figures to go up that ladder. The purity of who we are, the actual true source of who we are, maybe our true higher self, maybe being vulnerable and showing that in some way, shape, or form. And maybe those two shrouded figures were pushing judgment to take that risk, to answer that call, to climb that ladder. It's interesting that the moon also has a ladder, right? The water here would be our emotions, the murkiness, the not knowing. The moon is represented by the sign of Cancer. We just had a new moon in Scorpio, which is going to be a very emotionally charged, very psychically charged, right? About building things, because new moons are always about expansion, building, growing, progressing towards that sort of a thing. But Scorpio is like the great transformer, right? In the sense that Scorpio is ruled by, I believe, Mars and I can't think of the other planet, but Mars is, like the planet of war. And Scorpio is rules over sex, death, and regeneration. So Scorpio doesn't, like, excuse my language, but Scorpio doesn't fuck around, right? Scorpio is an intense sign. And so new moon in Scorpio can be dredging up things that we need to look at, that we need to deal with. And this latter theme that's happening in these two cards is saying to me, okay, we need to take these steps. We need to make the climb. We need to make the journey. We don't have any choice, right? This moon card to me says, all right, that white figure we saw yesterday is no longer white, right? It's kind of murky. It's dirty. Those emotions have come clear, right? Or we've gotten down in them. We've felt them. We've experienced them. And we have this moon up here, right? Which is the only bright spot in this card, which is, to me, the moon always indicates intuition, the sort of the more subtle side of who we are. It's indicative of our more feminine, our more intuitive side, right? It's our higher self in a lot of ways, or certainly more closely connected to our higher self. What this is asking us to do is to deal with whatever we're feeling with emotionally, whatever we're afraid of, answer that call, climb that ladder, and move towards it. But all of this, again, is a very intense, my feeling is, and I could be wrong, and maybe you guys aren't experiencing this intensity, and if you're not, that's fine. But this would be a very impactful, important time to be going through an inventory of what these emotions are for us and finding not a way out of them, but a way to understand them, accept them, and then move forward with them, right? Move forward intuitively to a more, I guess, informed place, or an intuitively guided spiritual place, right? The moon sometimes can indicate fear. It can sometimes indicate confusion. I don't get that with this card, with the design of this card. I feel like we don't really have a choice. We have to sort of move forward. If we don't, we're just going to be stagnant and stuck in the mire of this swamp, right? Or this water, these emotions that maybe we've been sitting in for some time and avoiding, right? Maybe we've just been busy in our lives and not, it's like the elephant in the room, right, that we don't want to deal with. Well, this is the week where we're being told, nope, that elephant, we're gonna have to look at it. So look at your elephant, pet your elephant, give your elephant a big fat hug, you know what I mean? And it's not about running away from anything. It's not about resisting anything, right? It's about settling into it, understanding where we're at, allowing the moon's guidance and our own intuition, our own higher self to sort of guide us and inform us of where we are and find acceptance of that. And then sort of, once we have that acceptance, then we aim higher. Then we take those steps up the ladder. Then we begin to move forward. Unsure maybe in that movement, unsure maybe in those choices, but we allow that guidance from within, that internal guidance, to move us, right? Our egos might be scared shitless right now, or our minds might be saying, what the hell are you doing? But moon says, no, follow me, follow me, follow me, right? And that's why we had that four swords in the middle of the week. And I just need to double check, was this my October? Wait, I need, what was the beginning of the week for, was it October? Yes. So we have four of swords, and then we have that two of swords, right? Which was that mental no or blockage. I had to look to my other calendar to remember what we were dealing with for the week. And we had, remember we had white dress too, which was from the literary witches deck, and we had that white dress on the figure yesterday from Judgment. So very interesting parallels. If I didn't look at that, I wouldn't have saw a white dress. And that white dress is about that purity, right? About that who we truly are underneath all of it. You know, the more delicate, scared, vulnerable parts of ourselves. This is our week to work with them, to experience them, especially during this Scorpio new moon and heading into like the down, the energy down size that happens as we go into fall and then into the deepest parts of winter, right? The cycles. All right. So let's look to our Urban Crow Oracle. Oh, interesting. Ooh. upheaval. Doesn't look so good there. Um, I don't get a bad feeling from this, right? Only because we see an upward motion on the ladder. Upheaval feels like, um, disturbance or a change or an unexpected change. But I actually think that this upheaval is about us going within and upheaving, not upheaving, but digging into our emotional self, digging into our deepest forms of ourselves, finding that part of ourselves that we need to come in contact with to understand so that we're no longer blocked, so that we're no longer in adversity, or maybe some of us might feel disgust with ourselves or shame or fear or insecurity. This is what I feel like we're being told in these cards this week. Where are these areas within ourselves that we can find our way, not necessarily away from, but to better understand them, and then to kind of bring them up out? I feel like these crows are bringing them up. Remember, we still have these blue eggs here. There's still an intact nest. There's still a birth happening here. There's still that new moon energy of new chapters being born. What do we need to upheave and change? They're upheaving this by the roots and pulling it up out of the depths of, maybe say, our subconscious, right? But we can also allow for new things to be planted, new seeds to be planted, new eggs to be born, new chapters to take place within our psyche, within our emotions, within our lives, right? And that is also, we saw that in the world card in the midweek, right? Which is that endings and new beginnings. So, guys, there's definitely like a theme happening with these cards this week. I hope that you're utilizing this time wisely. I certainly can't say that I am, but maybe we are. The grounding stone for today, they got us again, people, is meditation. And it's on obsidian, which is a stone that not only is black like the crow, which I love, but it's also black like night, where the moon presides, right? And that's when the moon works her best, is in the depths of the deep darkness. Obsidian is a stone that wards off negativity. So we need to know that we're grounded and that we're safe with obsidian around us, right? But obsidian is also like the darkness, or the counterbalance to the white of like white dress, or the purity that we saw in the white dress that we saw yesterday in the judgment card, right? Going into the darkness, going into who we deeply are, into our own subconscious through meditation, and finding out where we maybe need to upheave, make changes, look at things emotionally. This is not about harming ourselves. This is not about criticizing ourselves. This is about becoming one with who we are, where we're at, and then making arrangements to sort of make shifts and changes, i.e., begin to climb the ladder, i.e., begin to uproot whatever's not working for us and find other solutions that are, and to plant those seeds or crack those eggs. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, guys. I believe that it does. That is your reading for today. Tomorrow we will start a new weekly reading. I am going to try and get the tarot done this weekend, guys. I'm sorry about that. I do have an idea that's come to me about how I'm going to change the tarot going forward, but I will let you guys know that when I start them. And thank you so much for tuning in. Please, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. Share this video out, even if it's on your own pages or wherever. Let people know about me. And thank you so much for your viewership. Leave questions or comments, and subscribe if you're new to me. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful day, and go inward, guys. All right, take care. Bye-bye.